Vulcan, guys. We are in VR in the HP Reverb in X-Plane 11, drum roll, Vulcan. But this is the public release. It's now gone live, so that's pretty special really, and well done to X-Plane for finally getting to this point. So I thought we could do a bit of a circuit here at Darrington Municipal. It's one of my favourite airfields. Just look at the scenery here. I've got all my add-ons all working, so it's a fully loaded sim, to be honest. We've got Ultra Weather XP, Active Sky working, we've got XP Realistic, Orbx everything, got my settings very, very high. In fact, I'll put them in the right hand corner now. That's what I'm running at the moment. We're in the Orbx DA62, and let's get cracking. It's great to be in VR again, of course. And yeah, let's see how this sim runs now that X-Plane 11 has Vulcan officially. Get up to speed here. Gear up. So, being in the HP Reverb, how is this feeling? Now we're getting about 35-40 frames per second at the moment, which may not seem great, but considering all of my settings and where I am and what I'm doing and I'm recording, that's pretty good. It's not amazing, if I'm honest, it's not brilliant, but it's acceptable. Now one thing I've really learned about the Vulcan API, it's not really about raw frame rate numbers. You're not going to get massive increases, particularly in VR anyway. What the important factor is really is the smoothness, the lack of stutters, which is absolutely essential for VR users, because I'm sure you guys know that when you get a stutter in VR, it's horrible. It really is. It feels like your head's going to fall off. But yeah, let's just see how this feels. We'll just do a bit of a circuit here. In fact, I picked quite a tricky place to do a circuit, but hey, this is beautiful here at Darrington. A stunning location. Now this may surprise you guys, but I've always said that I actually prefer the Rift S for X-Plane 11, simply because that lower resolution combined with the ASW technique and the OVR plugin, and if you've no idea what I'm on about, I'll try and quickly explain that. Basically the Rift S has a lower resolution than the Reverb. That helps your VRAM and the Vulcan sort of API, which means you get sharper ortho and you generally tend to get better performance at lower frame rate. The OVR plugin basically locks your projection, so you can go right down to about 20 frames per second and it's really smooth. So really, because of those things, the Rift S has always been my preferred headset for X-Plane. And I know, as I say, that will surprise many of you because I love the Reverb, of course I do, but there's no getting away from the fact that the Oculus software is better for X-Plane 11 and it produces a much smoother experience. Now we're actually in we're in the Reverb at the moment. Things are feeling very nice indeed, but I'm just basically doing a few circuits here, so the ortho will remain really clear. But if I was to say do a long flight across Europe or something, you would see that the ortho would blur a lot more. That's always been a problem in the Vulcan API, and I can unfortunately say that still is an issue, even in the public release. That is a shame, but I think it's something that they have improved on. It's not as bad as it used to be, and it's not a deal breaker. I'm doing a real highly aggressive side slip here. The flight modelling in X-Plane is such that I can do this in the Orbx. You can't do this, by the way, in the default aircraft. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Oh, hang on a minute. No, we're going to have to go around because we have traffic. That's the first time I've ever seen traffic at this airport, and that is simply because I am using Just Flight's Traffic Global plugin, which gives me GA traffic for all of those small little strips. Oh, that is a sight, that is. To see live traffic. I don't mind going around because it's quite a refreshing change to see that in X-Plane. Another thing that's been improved in this latest release is apparently cloud shadows and flickering is a thing of the past, and actually I can confirm that the shadows feel better, but unfortunately at the moment Active Sky is reporting very clear skies here, so what I might have to do is quickly change my settings to really confirm whether cloud shadows are actually finally fixed. So I'll see you in a second, and magically we'll have different weather. So there we are guys, that is cloud shadows without flickering. My goodness me, that is something we've needed for ages. That is brilliant. It's also worth noting guys that whilst I was away changing my weather settings, I actually had to disable Ultra Weather XP because it was killing my frame rate. I'm now back up to about 40 frames per second. So that's something I've just noticed. I might not bother using it anymore, to be honest, because it's really robbing me of those important frames. The scenery around here is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice indeed. So yeah, what's my conclusion then of the Vulcan API? Well, if you haven't bothered yet trying it, I think now is the time. Things are feeling very smooth, but in terms of sort of raw frame rate increases, you might find it's a bit of a disappointment. But particularly for VR users, I think they benefited the most simply because of the smoothness of the sim. Can you see those cloud shadows there, guys? That's really nice. They look really good. Yeah, the smoothness, there's a lot less stuttering going on now, which I think is more important than actual sort of raw frame rate numbers. But I'm getting, as I say, about 40 frames per second at the moment with all this visual goodness, and it does look great guys, there's no doubt about it. With all my add-ons working, it's a very, very nice sim indeed, and a sim I'll be using for probably years to come guys, you know. I love the new Microsoft Flight Sim, and for me it's my favourite sim for GA now, particularly once VR is implemented. I think it's going to be very, very special indeed. But I also love X-Plane, and that's not going anywhere. I think we should use both sims if you're able to. Support both of them, because it's all good guys, you know. In the day we're all about enjoying flight, and I think to really benefit we need to use both sims. Here we go, a bit of a side slip again here. Can't beat VR guys, it really is. I think, you know, it'd be really interesting to see how Microsoft implements VR. That's going to be the crucial thing, because the way X-Plane does it with the sort of controller setup is perfect. So there we are guys. I think, as I say, conclusion is it's great that Vulcan is finally here officially, and there's definitely a huge performance increase for VR users, particularly in terms of the stuttering. I wouldn't recommend using Ultra XP at this point in time. I think the frame rate, there's something wrong with that software. It's not optimized. There's some sort of bug or whatever it is, and it's causing some pretty awful degradation in performance. So I'll just use the default clouds really, or maybe there needs to be another option out there. But quite honestly, I think Laminar really needs to get cracking and improve the clouds and the dynamic weather engine. That needs to be something of a priority for them, and thankfully now that this is out the door, they can work on those really important features. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.